This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 16. It says, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? It is good that thou shouldest take hold of this. Yea, also from this withdraw not thine hand, for he that feareth the Most High shall come forth of them all." I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, double honors unto the apostles, elders, a great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutations unto all the Akim, you brothers preaching this word in truth and in sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the hopeful elect, you sincere believers scattered wherever you may be. All right, so this is going to be a land back lesson off the Elder Mahalaya out there in KC. The title of his video, and Lord willing, I'll throw it in the description box. Balance and moderation is key to success in this walk, which is very, very true. And with that being said, we got to pray for it. You know, let's actually go to that one. I was going to hold it, but let's go to it. Because we have to pray for balance, you know, even when we feel, because every brother's walk is different. Every brother's life is different. Every brother's day-to-day is different. However, the Lord will give you pockets. He'll give you the time you need to serve him daily. All right, he's not he himself, the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is not an unbalanced, unjust power. Nah, he's going to give you downtime. He's going to give you avenues, ways, inspiration to serve him. And we have to the best of our ability, and really put him at the forefront. Make opportunity. And that's the spirit. We're actually going into that word earlier, maybe a week or two ago. Capitalize on the opportunities that the Lord gives us, you know. But also praying to the Lord for balance, you know, especially when you feel overwhelmed or when you feel like you're not getting shit done the way you need to be, or the way you think it can be. When really it's all the will of the Lord anyway. All right, but we have to pray. Pray. Whenever you're needing something, whenever you're lacking in something or whatever the case may be, pray. Beg the Lord. This is Sirach, or Ecclesiastes 21 and verse 5. It says, "A prayer out of a poor man's mouth reacheth to the ears of the Most High." And just to touch on that word poor, it not only goes into what's the word I'm looking for? It's not only just based on money. You know, the word poor, and actually let's go to it. I was actually looking it up because the Lord had told us in Matthew 5 and 3, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." When you go to the word poor, it essentially goes into destitute let's just read the outline of biblical usage, right? Reduced to beggary, begging, asking alms. Destitute of wealth, influence, position, honor. Lowly, afflicted. Destitute of the Christian values and eternal riches. Helpless, powerless to accomplish an end. Poor, needy. And this is the point I wanted. Lacking in anything, right? And even just the Israelites in general are also referred to as the poor within the scriptures. You can look up the word poor. It'll bring up countless scriptures, but, you know, to hone in on just those lacking in anything, right? Whatever we're lacking, hey, he's not, and actually we'll grab that after this, but it says, "And his judgment cometh speedily." All right. So the Lord's going to make a way for you, man. You gotta have faith and pray and believe that the Lord is hearing you. Because a prayer out of a poor man's mouth reaches to the ears of the Most High. You know, if you're serving Him and you're doing well to the best of your ability, you know, He's gonna make a way for you. What's the one I was going to? Salakia, James, the book of James. James 1 and verse 5, it says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith. That's the key, right? Because without faith, what is it? It is impossible to please him. It says nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. Yeah, so you're going to be all over the place, and you know what I'm saying? If you don't believe, we say you're not going to be defended. You know, how do you expect to receive something if you don't even expect to get it in the first place? You know, let me look up that word liberally in the blue letter. And bear with me. James 1 and 5. All right. It says liberally, simply, openly, frankly, sincerely. He's going to sincerely give it. If you're asking in sincerity, why wouldn't he, you know what I'm saying? Being a righteous father, why wouldn't he bless you with it? James 1 and 5, NLT, it says, if you need wisdom, ask our generous power, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. Right. He's not going to rebuke you for asking for spiritual necessities, I'll say. Things, right? Things that we need. You know, wisdom, more faith, you know, more inspiration, motivation, you know, balance within our walk, right? All these different things, we pray, and the Lord is going to make a way for us, man. You have to believe that. Discipline, you know, and Lord knows I need help with that. And balance as well. But it's just one of many things we can be and should be praying for. So let's go to the book of Proverbs 11 and verse 1. All right, just to touch on that balance. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. All right. Proverbs 20 and 23. Salakia. It says, diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good. Right. And we can't be, I always like bringing up the teeter-totter. You can't have too much weight on one side or the other one is going to be way up in the air. You know, you're going to be off your rocker, so to speak. You know, it is going to be that balance. It got to be, you know what I'm saying, just weight. It's got to be a just weight in order for that balance to be leveled out. And to be level-headed within a society, you know, it's tough alone. Right? And if you being on one side too much than the other, it's going to make matters worse. That's why we have to pray to the Lord to keep us level-headed, to keep us clear-minded, less stressed, all these different things, so that we can be better in serving him, you know, and having moderation within our life, period, when it comes to our diet, all right, not eating certain foods, not binging on sugary, sweet, and that's the spirit I was just speaking of, you know, my diet lacking the past week or two. And you start fucking feeling puffy. Inflammation creeps up, you know. You're getting lackadaisical. You're craving them sweets daily. Or, you know, your energy's down. And don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. The food that we eat here is all defiled anyway. But like the Apostle Dahar says, We got to eat, or you could eat the quality junk, you know? Still junk at the end of the day under Esau Edom, but we just have to make more sound decisions and choices concerning our what we put into our temple. You know, it's easier said than done, but there's really no excuse with having this knowledge. We got to do better, you know. And again, this is moderation. Don't get me wrong. You could treat yourself here and there, but it shouldn't be a everyday staple within your diet. You're fucking scarfing down pizza and donuts and sugary sweets and all this junk, you know. As well as, you know, the elder had also brought out the topic of drinking, and that's one thing, you know, Jake likes doing in their spare time, and me being one of them brothers. But that's the thing. That's why we have to examine ourselves, and you know your limit, and you know what alcohol does to you, how you react, how you respond to it. All right. Some brothers can't handle their liquor, and some brothers have to stay away from the bottom. Some brothers can drink more than others. You know, but it's all a balance. Some brothers can have a drink every night. Some brothers can't. You know, I'm one of the brothers that can't do it every night. You know, because when I drink, I like to, you know, get a little loose, but then I don't get enough quality sleep, and then the next day I'm paying for it. You know, and then your energy levels is down, and you know, things of that nature. You know yourself better than anybody else. You and the Lord. All right. And especially in crunch time, we have to make more wise decisions. Speaking first and foremost to myself, bro, because I'm guilty. You know, I'm not perfect. But this is where prayer comes into play. All right, asking the Lord for that balance. You know, especially with our time, where we put it, you know. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has to be at the forefront of our lives, period. But as well, too, all right, let's end off with this. This is the book of Sirach 14 and 11. It says, "My son, according to thy ability, do good to thyself." And that's the spirit. I have the motivation app, and I put it on the, you could do like a widget on your iPhone wallpaper. And it said, reward yourself. Reward yourself. And I had meditated on it. It lines up with the scripture where it says, and it's escaping me right now. Afflict not thyself, along the lines of afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. Loosely, I'm butchering it. But along them lines is in I believe it's in Sirach as well. But one of my favorite scriptures, because, you know, that's something that Satan wants you to do within his truth. Be hard upon yourself, doubt yourself, overly examine and criticize, ridicule yourself. But even we have to give we give appreciation and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But give yourself a pep talk as well. Hey, be proud of how far you've came, where you've come from, you know, and show gratitude. Be grateful. Thank Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for getting you where you're at right now. You know, and it's okay to reward yourself. Hey, if you want to go grab that bottle, sip a little yun, you know, after you've done the work and you're relaxing, maybe link up with your little, that's okay. All right. Let it not be on a Shabbat, but that, you know, it's to have fun with it. But hey, legit, it's okay to relax. You gotta be a super brew, as brother said in the past. You don't gotta be no damn super brew and just doing too much. Nah, man. Hey, take a chill pill, relax, calm down. Don't put too much stress upon yourself for thinking you're somewhere where you need to be and you're not there. And the Lord has you in a spot where he needs you to be. And we're not going to feel worthy. We're not worthy. The Lord ultimately is the one that will let us know if we're worthy. But we got to give the effort. Don't get me wrong. But the Lord's gonna have mercy upon whom He has mercy. All right, and if you're in this fight and you're fighting, hey, you have a chance, and that within itself is beautiful. Having His truth, having His knowledge, let us be grateful. All right. But just going back into that, Sirach 14:11, my son, according to thy ability, do good to thyself. Go to the gym, eat healthy, drink lots of water, go for a walk, go for a swim. Go link with your with your rib, with your wife, right? Play with your kids if you have kids. Go to that baseball game. The Lord is a just balance, man. Just balance power, I should say, Salakia. We don't gotta be monk or some type of, extreme Israelite. Nah. You can go watch that movie, do the things you like to do, play the game. All right, but don't let anything be over consuming, and taking your time away from the Lord. It says, and give the Lord his due offering, and that's the spirit. We got to give the Lord or make our daily sacrifice. Being ourselves, being that living sacrifice for the Lord. And in due time, man, we're going to receive that reward if we continue on and keep fighting. And Lord willing, that reward be salvation and deliverance from this wicked kingdom. But while we're in this wicked kingdom, let's operate in balance and pray for it, man. So with that, hey, Lord willing, this was all edifying and exhorting. Again, I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechak Wadash. Double honors again to the apostles, elders, great millstone, Shalom, Wa Kwam Yasharala, Wa Abad Babal.